Yo, 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 everybody. Chris here, and welcome back to Chris Flies Planes. Today we are joined by my wingman, Happy Feet.
Hi guys.
And as you can see, we are flying the F-22 Raptor again. So let's jump into the cockpit. Uh, let's get the plane started up, and then I'll talk us through the flight plan as we're taxiing. We've got a bit of a long taxi. So let's do pre-flight, starting from the left-hand console and working our way round. So auto should be APR should be on auto, sorry. Flap should be on normal. Yaw trim should be centered. Fadex should be centered. Interior light should be set to day. Exterior light should be set to anti-collision. Tank should be set to all. AAR should be closed. AAR light should be off. Left and right generator should be off. APU should be armed. Hook is up. Parking brakes are set to anti-skid. Landing taxi light should be set to taxi. Master should be safe. Landing gear is up. Battery is off. Radio volumes, I'm going to put those up. I'm not sure it makes any difference, but and oxygen should be set to auto, normal, and OBOGS should be on. And that should be the pre-flight checks. Just before we get started, I'm just going to check all my flight controls are free and moving, which we should have done last time we tried to record this video. Yep, that's all cool. Okay, so let's get us started. So battery should be on, left and right generators should be on, and APU should be started, and cue the horrible noise. So before we start the engine, just going to go to system on the main panel and make sure our exterior fuel tanks are on. And let's get left engine starting. So today we are at RAF Coningsby, EGXC, over in the East Midlands of the UK. You can see Happy Feet over to my left there, just behind that building. Also flying the F-22 Raptor. It's a beautiful day, a little bit of clouds. And we are flying in FSX Theme Edition, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I would love to fly in P3D, but we cannot get the multiplayer working right. Okay, left engine is stable. Right engine on. Okay, right engine is stable, and APU can go off. We'll turn off that horrible, horrible noise. Okay, all good to go?
Yep. So the APU was off. Come on. Okay.
Okay, so let's start rolling. Going to be taxiing over to runway 25 for a west departure. So I will lead the way if I remember to turn my parking brake off. There we go. I did not realize you were pointing in that direction. That does explain why you crashed into me on the last run through of this video.
Yeah.
Happy Feet here had a little bit of a control issue with his throttle. It happens. So we're turning left up here, yeah?
I mean, we can turn right and then right and do like go on the actual runway.
I think I'm going to get lost if I do that.
No, just take a right. And it's straightforward.
Are you suggesting we taxi down runway 7?
Yep.
Fantastic, let's do it. So let's talk about the flight plan for today. As I've said, we're taking off from RAF Coningsby, which is up in the East Midlands. We're going to be flying west over to Birmingham, and as we hit Birmingham, we're going to start a descent down to probably around 400-500 feet into North Wales. When we hit North Wales, we're going to be flying the Mach Loop, which is a low-level training run used by pilots in the RAF and US Air Force as well. It's about probably a 15-minute run, flying a circuit through some valleys in Wales. We're going to be entering it at the 2 o'clock position and departing at the 2 o'clock position. Once we've departed, we're going to fly north up through the Lake District. I've planned a little low-level run through the Lake District, which is a lot of fun. When we depart the Lake District, we're going to head up northeast at probably around 20,000 feet over to Scotland. We're going to do a low flyby of Edinburgh and St Andrews before landing and terminating the flight at RAF Leuchars, which I cannot remember the airport code for. My dad would kill me if I said that, but so as I said, we're once again flying the F-22 Raptor, flying in FSX. To be honest, looks pretty similar to P3D. P3D is a little bit more polished, but same plane. To be honest, I'm wondering if it's worth just taking off at runway 7 and just flying a loop round.
We can do that.
If we're going to be flying down runway 7 anyway, we might as well do it at high speed. Okay, at this point here I would be stopping and requesting runway clearance, but we have no ATC, so I'm just going to roll out. Got a fire truck off in front of us anyway, so come on. One thing I'll say about this plane, it feels super heavy when it taxis. Alright, happy feet. I'm going to pull onto the right hand side of the runway. Get myself lined up here. If you want to pull out onto the left hand side of the runway and just pull ahead of me a little bit. Let's try and do a nice formation takeoff. What can go wrong? Right. Cool. Looks good. So what we're going to do is, let's do pre-takeoff checks quickly. Exterior lights should be set to position anti-collision. Maybe. There we go. That was annoying. Landing light should be set to land. And everything else should be good. So I'm just going to get fuel up on my screen there. Zoom the map in a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, Happy Feet, is on my go, we're going to be throttling up to around 80%. Hold your wheel brakes as you throttle up. Just throttle up smoothly to 80%. When you hit 80% or thereabouts, release the brakes. And we should be good to go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and go. And release. Perfect. A little bit more throttle. Okay, so we're going to be taking off and we're going to be holding runway heading just to make sure there's no nasty collisions. Rotate and gear up.
Low altitude, low altitude.
I've not got visual of you right now, buddy, just a heads up on that.
Yep, I have visual on you.
Okay, so I'm going to start an easy left turn. So 3, 2, 1 and turn. I'm going to bank over around 30 degrees. Hold the climb. Go to 10 degrees nose up. And throttle back a touch. I can't remember what I said. Did I say we're climbing up to Angels 30?
Yep. Or 40. Or you want.
Well, I've just broken the speed of sound, so technically not allowed over the countryside. Okay, so we're going to be aiming for probably around heading 230 here. That should bring us onto the flight plan. Okay, and I'm going to level out the turn. And there we go. Hold the climb. Just go for 30,000. Still do not have visual of you, buddy.
I have. I'm right behind you. I mean, not right, but... I'm like 12 nautical miles behind you. Okay, leveling off. Keep the climb.
Okay, let's stick on altitude holds at 30,000 and mark. Heading control on nav and MC. There we go. So I'm going to be slowing down here to around 350 knots for our cruising speed. Happy feet, feel free to go a little bit faster to try and get some closure on me.
Yep.
Let's actually lock her in at 350. Speed on and 350 and mark. There we go, she is flying herself. So I think the flight time today is going to be just over an hour, if I can remember correctly. I'm going to put my fuel data on my screen just to make sure I'm not going to run out. I've got a fuel flight time remaining now of just under 3 hours, so more than enough fuel. How are you doing, man?
Good. I have 14 minutes of fuel left.
14, 1-4.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Okay, let me throttle back. 1 hour. Okay. So that was the difference between 100% and 98%.
Yeah, the fuel flow when you're running afterburner is honestly insane. When I was kind of initially learning flying jets in flight sims, I made the mistake so many times of using afterburner and just burning through all my fuel, hitting bingo fuel right at the start of the flight. That's why I try and keep it on screen now, just so I'm kind of monitoring it and making sure we're safe. In theory, I think we're flying, off the top of my head, around 400 miles today, nautical miles. We should have enough fuel without using the external fuel tanks, but honestly I like that little bit of safety.
So you're flying a heading off. I can see on my right. Where?
I can see you over there, yeah. I'm flying currently a heading of 267.
Yep.
The actual flight plan heading will be 263. I'm just coming across to intersect it now.
Doing the same thing now. God, the autopilot in this plane is amazing.
I see you off my right wing, left wing there, 10 miles out. So this flight plan is great fun. Again, it's another one of those low-level flights through valleys. Anyone who saw my last video up from Zurich to Venice will be getting the impression by now that I really enjoy this kind of flying. Hopefully it's interesting for you guys. I also planned it so we had a couple of long stints just up in the air, up at cruising altitude. Lets me and Happy Feet do a little bit of flying together side by side, which we're still getting used to. We're still not good at it, but we're getting there. So we are only 5.5 minutes from the next waypoint, which will be Birmingham Airport. So we'll be flying over Birmingham Airport at around 30,000 feet and starting our descent to the entrance of a Mach Loop, which will be down below 1,000 feet. The other nice thing about this flight plan as well is RAF Coningsby, where we took off from, is where I grew up from when I was around 11-ish, somewhere around there, till I was around 18, 19. And RAF Leuchars, where we're going to be landing just outside of St Andrews in Scotland, is where I grew up from about 1 till 11. So 2 places I hold very dear, 2 bases I know very well. How you doing over there, man?
I'm just trying now to intercept it.
We're at 8.5 miles out.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the autopilot today is behaving much better than usual.
Yep.
I love the autopilot, but it does tend to throw you around a little bit. But it's holding me dead on at 30,000, dead on at 350 knots. Okay, so Happy Feet is 6 miles in closing.
I'm gonna stay to your left.
Cool. So we've got a little bit of time, so I think it's about time Andre told the story of why we call him Happy Feet.
No.
Okay, I think it's about time that I tell the story of why we call Andre Happy Feet.
Okay.
So, Andre, being the total badass that he is taking actual flying lessons in real life to get his private pilot's license. He's been flying in Cessna 152s, yeah?
Yep.
Over at Stapleford aerodrome just outside of London, with his plan of getting his PPL, which is the coolest thing ever. He actually gave me the opportunity to have a quick lesson myself. I had just over a half-hour lesson up in the Cessna 152 myself, which was amazing. If you go over to his channel on YouTube, which I will link in my description, you can see a video of that. On his first takeoff, where he was actually in control of a takeoff, he got a little bit over-eager on the rudder pedals, and his instructor decided from then on he should be called Happy Feet, which is a nickname I am more than happy to take advantage of.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Yeah. How are the lessons going, buddy?
Very good. Actually, you should know that on my second attempt, I didn't touch the rudder, which you shouldn't unless you have a very strong crosswind, and it went perfectly.
Excellent. But nickname stick, I'm afraid, you know.
Yeah. You should be aware that I'm in front of you.
Yeah, I've got a visual, buddy.
A tiny to the left.
So
And
you're
I'm flying a heading of 263.
cool. I'm also on 263.
And
You
my
are-
speed is 350.
Yeah, so if you lock her in at 350, you're about 1.5 nautical miles from me. I'm going to kill my speed autopilot and just throttle up a little bit, see if we can close this down, get some nice visuals.
I'm gonna look to my right.
So how many hours have you got up in the air now?
I think it's 5, but I may be wrong. Let me check my logbook.
I'm actually flying through your trail right now. This is pretty awesome. Okay, slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Awesome, man. And how many hours are you roughly aiming for?
Well, the minimum is 45 hours. That's including solo flight and cross country. But I'm aiming for 55.
Nice, man.
And apparently the quickest guy, I mean, there's a pilot, a student pilot, who did his first solo flight after 8 hours.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think he had experience in gliders.
Okay, so we are actually coming up on Birmingham Airport, just to our... just off our nose now, actually. I think we're just about to pass it. So I'm going to throttle up a little bit. I'm just going to pass Andre on my right-hand side there. You should see me coming into your screen pretty soon. I'm going to be taking lead as we come down through the Mach Loop. I think I've flown it a couple more times than Andre. Okay, I'm just coming over your right wing now, buddy.
I'm holding the camera.
There you go. Okay, so let's...
Okay, so that's the left.
Yeah, I'm just coming off your left wing now, buddy. This is how accidents happen, is because I'm not very good at left and rights when I'm flying. Alright, so I'm going to kill my autopilot. We're going to start our descent now.
Okay, let me kill mine also.
So we're going to be aiming for a descent. We've got 3 minutes and we need to descend around 30,000 feet. So what's that? 1,000 feet a minute. Yeah, 1,000 feet a minute. I'm not sure entirely where I can actually see my vertical descent. I say 1,000 feet a minute, I mean 10,000 feet a minute, by the way. You can see that, by the way, on your right-hand screen, which is your
Yep, I see
indicator.
the vertical speed. Yeah.
Bottom right is vertical speed. So we're going to be aiming for around 10,000 downwards. Trying to keep it as close to 350 as we can. That should bring us in nicely at the
Do you
start
know
of the
what's
map.
the shortcut for the spoilers?
Yeah, on keyboard it's the forward bracket, I think.
Okay.
Yep, definitely forward bracket. Okay, let's nose down a little bit more. So I'm flying at around 300 knots in a minute, buddy.
Okay, I can't deploy my brakes. And I'm to your right.
Forward slash, I said, right? Not forward bracket. Forward slash.
Yeah, that's more likely.
So I'm just passing 15,000, flying at 300 knots, and around 17 degrees nose down right now. So you can see on my primary display there, we've got the mapped out Mach Loop. It's a nice tight little loop. We're joining it at around 2 o'clock position, so around northeast, and flying anti-clockwise. We're going to be following a road basically the whole way around. It's fairly easy to fly. It's definitely a lot of fun. And then departing out to the north. So I'm passing 8,000 feet now.
Chris, just to let you know that I've lost visual of you.
Okay, what's your altitude?
10,000.
Okay, so I'm going to be below you, so you should be okay. I'm just to the left of the flight plan.
Okay, you're good. On the flight plan.
Okay, I'm leveling out. You should see the road in front of you, Andre.
Oh,
Off the nose, should be a main road, maybe?
through a cloud. Just a
Okay.
second.
Okay, let's throttle back and air brakes off. So I'm down just below 2,000 feet now. And I'm joining the road.
I'm passing 8,000 right now.
Okay, so let me slow right down, so let you catch up.
Yeah, I can see the road. Oh, okay.
Okay. I am flying along the road, so if you can see the road and you can't see me, hopefully you're behind me and not directly above me.
Yeah, I have visual.
Fantastic. So I'm flying around 300 knots a minute. If you just want to try and catch me as much as you can. And let's get my view set up. Let's get this map zoomed in a little bit. Beautiful. Okay. So, taking a
Leveling off.
nice right around here. Get my gas up again. And this is the Mach Loop. So we're going to be following the road. I think it's the A40 off the top of my head. I might be completely wrong about that, but... And named after one of the towns at the start of the Mach Loop, Maclinith. And not the speed. We will not be doing this at Mach. We're around half a Mach at the minute. We aim to do it probably around 400 to 450 knots. Nice sharp turn here. Trying to keep my map roughly in view there, and also be able to see where I'm actually flying. There we go.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Yeah, I know, love. I know. Low altitude. How you getting on, man?
Yeah, I think I'm being a little bit cocky.
Good.
Low
At 500
altitude.
knots.
Low
Okay.
altitude.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little bit cocky. We're fighter pilots, man. We've got to be cocky, you know?
Yeah. Shuttle back.
Okay. There is one part of the Mach Loop where I tend to get a little bit lost, so I'll see if I can work out where that actually is. Nice, nice hard left turn around
Over
here.
G. Over G.
Getting G warnings on the plane, always a good sign. There we go. Follow the road round
Low
here.
altitude. Low altitude.
Hard over bank. Throttle.
Alright, so I think this is the spur here. So
Low
again,
altitude.
nice
Low
hard
altitude.
turn. Pulling around 4-5G through that. And
Over G.
over to the left. Over to the right.
Over
And
G. Over G.
hard
Over
right
G.
here. Cut the corner a little bit there, but was inevitable.
Low altitude. Low altitude. Low
Alright,
altitude. Low
sweet.
altitude.
And around we come here. And over left down here.
Over G. Over G. Obstacle ahead. Low
Whoa, there's
altitude.
definitely an
Low
obstacle ahead.
altitude.
So you'll see, I don't know if it's on your flight plan as well, Andre,
Low
but there's a bit
altitude.
where it goes
Low
really
altitude.
jaggedy. Disregard that. Just follow the road there. I'm not sure what that's about.
Did I have you like at 1 nautical mile ahead?
How far?
1 nautical mile.
Oh, fantastic,
Low
man.
altitude. Low
And I'm
altitude.
closing in.
You must be getting some beautiful, beautiful footage here. I'm flying 400 knots and rising.
450.
Okay.
Let's get a little bit cocky, come on.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Gonna be maintaining my left turn here, just so you know.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Alright. And that was the Mach Loop. It's a nice, fun little flight. Pretty comparable to my last flight up through the Alps, but obviously that's a lot longer. And honestly, a lot more stressful. So we're going to be departing here. And let's begin our climb. So for this, we're going to be climbing up to, let's say 10,000 feet. And left turn over here. Let's get altitude on and marked at 10,000. No. Here we go, 10,000. Heading on and speed locked in at 350.
Mind you, I'm just above you.
Yeah, I've got you.
And I'm gonna stay left of the flight path.
Cool. What's your speed, buddy?
850?
850.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe slow that down a wee bit, bud.
Yeah.
How's your fuel looking?
Not good, not good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going for Angels 10.
Yeah, Angels 10. And what's your speed?
For 500 right now, slowing down.
Okay, I'm at 700, so just to try and get over on you and start slowing it down.
And I'm at 10,000 feet.
Yeah, 10,000 feet also. Okay, so if you're going to be flying the flight path, I'm going to, or roughly flying the flight path, let me get everything locked in here, and let's... Oh wow, the aircraft labels don't render through the clouds. That's interesting. You are low, buddy.
Yep. Coming up right now. And I'm gonna go for 350.
Right. I am potentially dangerously close to you right now. No, I've got you. I've got you. Let me get my altitude control off as well. There we go. Oh, there's a nice little autopilot kick there.
Yes, so the autopilot is doing funny things. Okay, speed 315. Mark.
Alright, I'm going to try and hold around 380. Bring her back, bring her back. Let's get some altitude. Let's get... What's your speed?
360 right now, going for 380.
Okay, I am coming up on your right wing right now, and this time I actually mean your right wing.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to start a descent?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I can see it. I think you're pretty close to me.
I am extremely close to you, buddy.
Okay. So... should we start the descent?
Actually, hold a level,
Okay.
8,500. So I've made a decision on this video to release it in 2 parts. So it's going to be around half an hour each. This is going to be the end of our first part. We're just commencing the second leg of our flight plan through the Lake District. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in a couple of days for part 2. All right.